So, getting tools from True Tech Tools. I am making this video because I have been asked so many times to give part numbers and tools, and there's so many different variances. And right now I just had somebody ask me for a tool list for their shop. So I'm going to show you what I recommend, and you can pick and choose what you can afford at the time and what order you want to buy stuff. So one really important thing, you really need to understand vacuum, and I highly recommend you order this book because you're going to be using a micron meter and you need to know how to understand it. It doesn't matter that you got a good tool. You could give anybody, you could give a monkey a hammer, but if he doesn't know how to grab that nail and what it's purpose for, it's useless, and he'll just get angry and hit his finger. So if you're going to be using a micron meter, I highly recommend this. It's $19, and it's actually been updated and revised, and it has the new AccuTools Blue Pro and all the other vacuum meters in it, and showing you how to do it. And there's related videos by Jim Bergman. So I highly recommend getting this if you're gonna be using a micron meter to do a vacuum decay test. The wireless sensor kit that you see me use from Fieldpiece, with the software that I could download onto my phone or onto the pad. This is the kit right here. That's $902 right there. You get 3 temperature probes, you get the pressure transducers, and you get 3 temperature clamps for refrigerant. You'll need that for the superheat and subcooling, and you use that for like when you have 2 evaporators and you want to know that there's cold refrigerant coming back to the compressor from the rear evaporator. You'll put one of those clamps in the rear of the vehicle to the metal hose coming from the back of the vehicle. That's why you want 3 of those. The other one will go on the liquid line, the other one will go to the suction line coming from the evaporator. So that's the kit right there. Nylog, you always see me talk about Nylog and stopping vacuum leaks, and your O-rings and your couplings. There's the Nylog. I put it in the cart. Big Blue for leak detector spray. Okay, this works better than soapy water. So there's Big Blue, and $8 I put that in there. Ultrasonic leak detector. So there's your ultrasonic leak detector, and that's the cheap kit. That's the bare bones minimum. I'm keeping everything to a kind of a bare bones minimum. That's for the cheapest guys who just want the bare bones minimum. So that's why I got the cheap one. And yes, that's inexpensive. Refrigerant leak detector. I'm sorry, on this one I won't budge. There's only one refrigerant leak detector anymore that I'll recommend. I do believe very strongly in the H10 heated diode leak detector. That is my other alternative. But with today's refrigerants, getting away from CFC chlorine-based product refrigerants, sometimes in some situations, this one edges out the H10. But if you couldn't go for this one, comes in at $1,000 after taxes, then I would say go down to the H10, and it's on this website, and it's a little over $500. That would be my minimum leak detector to go to, but it's more difficult to use. It's a little touchy-feely. There's some things that guys who don't understand stuff very well get a little upset with, and they get frustrated and they don't understand how to use it right. Using a heated diode leak detector is different from using an infrared leak detector. And if you don't know the differences, you will not be happy. And this is where everybody makes their mistake, especially when they change from they were used to heated diode, and they get their first infrared leak detector. They make some mistakes and they don't understand it, and they call it a piece of junk. It's not a piece of junk. It's the lack of knowledge of the technician who's using a tool he knows nothing about. And the same thing goes the other way around. When somebody only used an infrared leak detector their whole life, they never used a heated diode leak detector, and they switch to a heated diode, there's a learning curve. And if you don't know your tools, it doesn't matter. You give a monkey a tool, if he doesn't know how to use it, the tool's no good. All right. Hoses. Here I selected the 1.5 meter hose. Shorter is better. But unfortunately, if you're going to hang your gauges up on the hood and you want to make it down to your vacuum pump on the ground, you're going to need the 1.5 meter hose. But if you're going to put your vacuum pump up on a cart, which I hope most of you are going to do, then you can go and you could get the kit that is only 1 meter long, and it'll save you like $20 or something like that. But don't think about saving money in this industry. You think about what gets the job done and get it done right. Don't be that cheap guy. Rapid recovery kit. Here you got two with a valve core removers for the old R12 valve cores. If you're still getting those old cars, that comes in this kit. You get the recovery unit and you get a recovery tank, and they got a hose on there. That's $1,200 right there. Now, gauges. I only recommend 4-port gauges. In my granddaddy's day, they used 3-port gauges. There's a reason why you want that 4th port. There's an advantage over that, and I explained that many times in my videos. I hope you understand that. And every guy who finally got the 4-port understands why now, and regretted buying the 3-port because they wanted to save a few dollars. They always tell me later on, God, I wish I would have spent the extra money for the 4-port. Get the 4-port SM480V. That's what that 4 is. The 3 is the 3-port. The 4 is the 4-port. You want the 4-port because you're going to be using the vacuum pump with the largest diameter hose, with the largest diameter fitting. And oh, did I not get the vacuum pump on here? Hey, look at that. I didn't get the vacuum pump on here. So let's go select the vacuum pump right now. Now in the kit, I did not throw in this vacuum gauge because that's the most expensive vacuum gauge. It's all the bells and whistles. If you want a data log and everything, you throw that in there. But I do suggest and recommend you get your frustrations out and kind of learn how to use the micron gauge located where it shouldn't be, which is inside the gauge itself and the refrigerant gauge itself. That's your starting learning point right there. And if you learn how to master the idiosyncrasies and the little problems and compensating for losses in the hoses and stuff like that, and you stop getting frustrated and you actually learn something, then if that's a little bit in your budget, then you can throw this into the game. But learn on this, get a little angry and frustrated, learn how it works, master it. After you master it, then jump to the big boy. All right, so let's go select the vacuum pump because I did not put this in this list. So we're going to go to heating and cooling. We're going to go down to vacuum and recovery products. So let's go to vacuum. And we are going to go to field piece. That's all I want. I just want field piece here. I like NavVac too, but I'm trying to keep this economical for the guys in automotive. My big white vacuum pump, I'll just show you for fun, and then you guys can have a heart attack and pass out when you see the price. Vacuum in recovery machines. Vacuum pumps. Okay, here's vacuum pumps. Boom, right there. Come on. Any minute now. I should have went to the vacuum kit, but let's just go to vacuum pump. Okay, NavVac, very well. I actually got to repair my NavVac pump, and that's why I'm not showing a NavVac pump in here. I'm just sticking you guys with my little NavVac pump. I have a little NavVac pump, and I have a big NavVac pump. And my little guy, you haven't seen it in videos in the last several months because it's having an issue. And I haven't figured out. And it just got out of warranty when it had the issue, and I just parked it on the side like a brick. No time to fix it. Let's see. Now, there's a big kit right there, and that's $5,000. But I won't go into that because it has some stuff for commercial and residential HVAC. Just a few little things. Now, minimum vacuum pump. Here we go. We'll go down here. I could save you some money here. The VP67, that would be your minimum vacuum pump. I would say get this one. Now, what am I going to get? I'm going to get the VPX7, which is a 10 CFM. You do not need a 10 CFM, but the reason I'm getting the 10 CFM, it's several pounds lighter the 6 CFM, the 8 CFM, they went all out on the 10 CFM, and they made the construction inside all aluminum, so they made it lightweight. And that's the reason I'm spending the extra to get the 10 CFM model, because I just want something that's easier on my back, because I carry this thing in and out of my vehicle like 8 times a day, 10 times a day. Or I'm going to a shop and they might have 5 or 6 cars and I have to pick it up many times. But I also have my other vacuum pump and my other vacuum pump. So I'm usually moving 3 vacuum pumps at a time, several sets of gauges at a time, 1 or 2 recovery machines at a time, all at one shop. All right, so let's go here. We're going to throw this into the cart. We're going to select this one. No, quick view. I want to select this one. Come on. And we're going to throw it into the cart. And it's raining outside and we have slow internet for some reason. So this is this one here. This is the cheap one. And this is all you need. 6 CFM is more than enough for automotive. It's more important that you get if you want to save money, I'd rather see you get a smaller vacuum pump, even a 4 CFM or a 3 CFM, and get the blue silicone vacuum rated hose than spending more money on a bigger vacuum pump. But here's the minimum right there. Let's add that to the cart. It's added to cart. And it's going slowly. So let's view the cart. Well, we could see it just stuck it inside our viewed cart right now. So now we're a view cart. We're up to $8,000 right now. And this is only a fraction of the tools I have. And I mean a very tiny fraction. What you see I use is a very, very tiny fraction of what I have. Extremely tiny. I could have bought a house with all the tools that I've bought. I have more money in my tools than when I purchased my first house. My house was cheaper than the tools I have. Let me put it to you that way. Okay, so there you go. And this is what you'll see. And then they'll want you to check out. And this is my most trusted website for purchasing tools, most reliable. So then you'll go to checkout. You have PayPal, Amazon, PayPal credit, which I don't use that. Let's hit checkout. So I'm just going to run you guys through this. And then you're going to have to set up your account. Of course, you're going to need your email, your first name, last name, your address, all the usual stuff that you do when you purchase stuff. Now, a coupon code. I do not have a direct link with TruTech Tools, but I've been using them all the way back when Jim Bergman was there and he was introducing the Redfish, and he used to work for Testo and he was making Testo videos. I've been watching their videos and their training and everything like that. When you go to get out of here, not security code, somewhere in here, I think when you proceed to the next step and you go to purchase, they're going to ask you, oh, I have 2 of these in there. That's a mistake. Should be just 1. That's why it's so expensive. They are going to ask you for a coupon code. And I've always been I watch many HVAC videos, but Chris from HVAC videos, I've always used his coupon code. And his coupon code is all one word. It's called Big Picture in capital letters. And if you put that in the coupon code, it gives Chris a little percentage. He gets his thing, but you get this cheaper. You get all this 8% cheaper if you use the coupon code. So I tell all my subscribers to use Chris's coupon code of Big Picture so you guys get a 8% reduction on all your purchase. All right, guys, I think that's enough for this. I've kind of walked you through. And this isn't everything because we don't have the nitrogen tank on here. We don't have the nitrogen regulator on here. The UV Beast UV light, that you have to get online. It's called UV Beast 365 version 3. Maybe I'll make another video after that and post it. All right, see you guys. This is long enough.